How do I defend Chicago? I love Chicago, and when these people say things to me, what do I say back to defend my city? I was at dinner with some dear friends. So Julie lived in Rye, New York, raised her kids in Rye, New York, and then she and her husband moved here to Chicago. She was back over Labor Day seeing all her New York friends, and they were razzing her. They were like, why are you in Chicago? I keep hearing all this terrible news about Chicago. It's, Chicago is a horrible place to live. You got to come back to suburban New York. And Julie's like, I love Chicago. I love Chicago. So at dinner, she's saying to us, how do I defend Chicago? I love Chicago. And when these people say things to me, what do I say back to defend my city? So I got inspired last night. I sat down with my computer and I looked up some things. Now, I'm not supporting Quicken Loans here, but I thank them for doing this research. They looked into the 15 most expensive cities in the U.S. and what they really cost. They looked at median household income, home price, rent, unemployment, poverty, etc. Chicago, not on the list of the top 15 most expensive cities. So there you go. Okay, so that's number one, not most expensive. Here's move.com, and they did most expensive to own and to rent. Look who's not on the list, not Chicago. 15 most dangerous cities in the U.S. Number one is the highest cost of crime. This is by Forbes magazine, not Chicago. 15 most dangerous cities by murder rate in the world. Important to know when you travel. Breaks my heart Caracas is there because, of course, Lizzie was born in Caracas and we had some great times there. But anyway, thankfully, we don't have a U.S. city in the top. But number 14 in the world is St. Louis, followed by Baltimore, Detroit, and New Orleans. But St. Louis at 60 is like half of what Tijuana is, or Acapulco, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's not Chicago. And again, this is World Population Review, Most Dangerous Cities, a different survey. Here are the most dangerous, and a lot of them are the same, Detroit, St. Louis, but not Chicago. Okay, most dangerous is Detroit. And says even with the population of 8.5 million, New York is not even in the 50 most dangerous. Now, it does say Chicago had the highest number of homicides in 18 with 563, but it still doesn't have enough to put it in the top. A city with a high violent crime rate does not indicate that the entire city is unsafe. Within each city, violence is hyper-local. Violence is usually more common in specific neighborhoods or block by block. I'm not saying Chicago is safe on every street. I think this paragraph is important, and I think that's how you and I have looked at it for a while. U.S. News and World Report, they put out their list, top colleges, top places to live in the U.S., and I pulled up their most dangerous places, not Chicago. Again, okay, so now let's talk about best. Travel and Leisure did the 15 best cities in the United States. Okay, we came in at number 7 based on how they ranked us. And they included things like restaurants, culture, blah, blah, blah. But we came in ahead of Boston, Austin, Asheville, San Diego, and Nashville, which are all cities that people think of as being really cool places to live. Mm-hmm. And we're higher than that. By Travel and Leisure, they don't have skin in the game. Afar magazine, ranking people, places, programming, product, prosperity, and promotion, put us number 4 of cities in the U.S. to live. And then Condé Nast Traveler Reader Awards, Time Out, they polled 20,000 people and said, what's the best city in the U.S.? Chicago came in number 1.
Best big city all the time. People love it.
Big city. And then they did in the world, number 2 in the world behind Edinburgh. Yeah. Number 2, people. We have a lot to be proud of in this city. So we are not among the most expensive. We are not the most dangerous. And we're one of the finest in terms of beauty, things to do, food.
Here's some of the things that we have going for us. So I went away to high school, went away to college, lived overseas. Chicago is my home. I choose Chicago every day and happily to do it. We are a city that people move here because of job changes and they don't go. They stay because they love it. It is a friendly city. It is a smart city. It is a city that welcomes people. In many ways, a great place to live. I'm going to tell you, none of us likes the level of violence we're experiencing now.
Right.
It is something that has myriad causes, and it's right now apparently beyond our city's leadership to ameliorate. We can't seem to calm it down. But I think in time it will. We go through periods of violence, and we'll find our way through. But it's not making me leave. What about you, Ann?
No, I feel exactly the same way. And I'm glad you took a moment to talk about the crime, because I don't want to be tongue-in-cheek about crime. I don't mean to come off that way at all. Any crime is too much crime. Any shooting, any homicide is too much. And I agree with you. I think the city has a long way to go to get it under control, but I am confident that we can move forward and do well. And to your point, if I didn't believe that, I'd be gone. I love this city. Just love Chicago. It has so much to offer.